Hey, this is the Animation Fanatic here. 2013, we had a movie that was a really big deal, and that was Hunger Games Catching Fire, and I reviewed that. But there was another big deal in 2013. There was a movie called Frozen, and I had been hearing things for quite a while saying that Frozen was the, quote, rebirth of the Disney Renaissance, the highest grossing film since The Lion King, one of the greatest ever, blah, da, 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 da. You hear Let It Go constantly. Um, but does it live up to the hype? Is it as good as people say it is? I don't know. Or at least I didn't know until today, because I finally saw Frozen. And since I am the animation fanatic, and I do love animated films, and I do like Disney, I decided to review it. Um, I'll try to do a both spoiler and non-spoiler review, so I'll try to keep this as free as possible, but I will say spoiler alert when I'm about to do something. Sorry, I can't. I don't have the kind of tech to tell you go fast forward to here or something like that. But, just try to bear with me. If you really, really don't want to hear anything, go watch the movie, go see it somewhere, and then come back and listen to what I have to say. So, just a really basic plot. Elsa, there's this land called whatever it was called, I forgot. But anyway, there's two sisters. One of them has these magical powers. We're not sure how she got them. She was just born with them. She can turn things into ice and snow. She's been learning how to control it for a long time, but then it gets out of hand. She flees into the mountains, and her sister, Princess Anna, has to go and try to convince her to bring the summer back. But that's the basic plot of this movie, but it is so much more than that. There's a lot happening in this film, and maybe you can say that's a bad thing, but I think it worked out. There was, like I said, there was a lot happening. We kind of jumped from issue to issue, thing to thing, scene to scene, but that was fine. It still kept its cohesiveness, and it was still a solid film. Let me address the music first, because Disney has always been noted for its music. You think Disney's made a lot of very famous and in importance. Disney's done a lot of big songs. Hakuna Matata comes to mind. Beauty and the Beast. Hunchback of Notre Dame has just really a lot of great stuff. I think of the opening song. A lot of people like Hellfire. God Bless the Outcasts, etc., etc. Disney's got a lot of great music stuff. So how does this movie's music hold up? How is it memorable? Is it good? I'd say yes on both counts. I really enjoyed all of the songs, not just Let It Go, but every other song that I heard here. And I thought it was very memorable. I thought it was very entertaining. I saw Tangled several years ago, and I can't really remember the music too much. I didn't even remember the song that, kind of got an... Did it get an... I can't remember if it got an Oscar or was nominated. But now I See the Light, I think it was called. I sort of remember the villain's song, Mother Knows Best, but the other ones I didn't really remember too much of the details of that. But this one had a lot of, like I said, very memorable and very entertaining songs. They were really good. They were really conducive to what was happening in the story, and I really liked them. And they did a really good job with them. I'm very impressed. I really am. This was a lot of fun, and even animation. Yeah, I was going to talk about the animation. Animation's very beautiful. They created a very nice, a pretty cool environment, and even if it's all in snow, it's really awesome what they do here. And yeah, you might have trouble with some people I know don't like 3D, the new 3D animation. Some people prefer the old days back in the 90s. Cell animation, yay. But it really works here, and it really shows off everything. This must have been, hard to animate, hard to do, and it's really cool how they do it. And it doesn't affect the story. So even if you don't like it, you can go there and you can still, I think, enjoy it, because it's really cool and interesting to see. Characters were all great. I loved all of them. They were fun to see. They were pretty cool. It's interesting how the film kind of juggles kind of antagonists a little bit, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, the characters were entertaining and funny and sympathetic. They did a good job with everybody, with Elsa, making her, spoiler, a sympathetic villainess, and with the other characters. as well. I liked Olaf the Snowman a lot. I didn't realize how much fun I would have with the guy. He was really funny. Um, yeah, it was they were all a bunch of great dynamic characters that really helped again push the story along and move it along. Oh, I also like the guy who owned the sauna place. That was really funny. That was yeah. You'll know what I'm talking about if you've seen this. Anyway, one thing I didn't as for overall plot, yeah, it was a lot of fun and it was entertaining and I like the whole story of she's got these powers, she kind of shut everything was shut out and then she flees into the mountains and I liked it that even though the ending, okay, spoilers, it's sort of like, oh, foiled by the power of love, it's not romantic love in this case. It's sisterly love, and I think that's really cool. It's the sacrifice and love you have for your sister or for your family member. And they sing a little bit about family members in the troll spoiler, the Trolls' whole song that they sing and about family and that's really cool how it's the power of familial love as opposed to romantic love that saves the day. And this movie actually departs from the Disney tropes a lot. The handsome prince turns out to be the bad guy. I did have kind of a problem with that, not because it departed from the trope, but just because it's like you get to that part and it's like, oh, he's the bad guy now. Okay. It was like, what? I mean, it turned out being okay. It turned out being okay and effective, but I still it was a little bit. It was a little bit of it was a curveball for me, but it didn't ruin the plot. I will mention this. My mother was comparing the movie to Beauty and the Beast, and it does kind of remind me a little bit of that. You have sort of a time limit. The flower and Beauty and the Beast running out, and Anna, her heart getting hit by the ice and her time running out as well, and then true love kind of fixing it. I think, yeah, that is kind of similar, but in Beauty and the Beast, Gaston was killed. He was killed, and the prince here was not. Now maybe the movie was already very serious. Maybe they didn't want to do that, but still, it's like comparing older Disney to newer. He was killed in the last one. He was not here. No. Anyway, that's again not a problem. But like I said, the movie, yeah, it is compared kind of like Beauty and the Beast in that sense. And there's a monster too, not a beast-like monster, but a monster with powers, and they perceive her as a monster. And the guy who's the mayor from Weaseltown. Oh, sorry, Wesselton. I'm just gonna give it the spoilers pretense. This is all spoilers. Spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, stop watching. Stop it. Yeah, he's, really paranoid and afraid, and he wants his men to go kill her, and they try. But it's kind of the similar thing, people being afraid of something they don't understand. In Beauty and the Beast case, it was the beast. In this case, it's powers, and whether it's Elsa being afraid of something she doesn't understand, or the people, that's kind of a similar dynamic. It's cool, though, that throughout it, Anna's faith in Elsa never really shakes too much, and she manages to keep pushing and pushing. And eventually, yeah, saves her and saves herself through the act of true love, and that's really cool. It's also funny to hear it coming from Disney, you can't marry a person you just met. Yeah, do I even need to say anything about that? I mean, really. And, how love interest isn't the one who saves the day. It's not his act of true love, or Prince Charming's act of true love. It's Anna's, and that's really cool. Although I will mention that she does get together eventually with this guy who she didn't just meet, but she met and knew for the period of a day. I'm guessing a whole day has passed, or maybe a little bit more while this happened, and while she met him. But still, you gotta have it's a Disney movie, you gotta have a romance. Maybe we'll get a Disney movie where we don't. I'm just reminded of Tangled all of a sudden, and how they kind of just met as well, Rapunzel and Flynn Rider, but they, again, had the whole day together to kind of get used to each other. But still, quick, but this whole romance thing is quick, but not. But it's interesting how they kind of changed the tropes a little bit. You could say Anna still gets kind of together with a guy that she just met and hasn't known for too long, but they've been through a lot. Anyway, this is a lot. Like I said, it's a lot different from previous Disney films, and it's funny to see and hear that. And like I said, maybe we'll have a Disney film where people don't get together who instantly. Oh wait, Tangled. They got together, but they didn't get married until after a while. So anyway, overall thoughts, like I said, good movie, well worth checking out. Yeah, you really should see this film. Go watch it. It is what people have said it is. It really is. It does not disappoint. And I'm looking forward to more of this from Disney. I'm looking forward to seeing more of this kind of thing. I hope that they can continue with just this great talent, be it in animated form for their own stuff, be it through Pixar, be it through Marvel in the new superhero films, or be it through Star Wars, whatever's going to come out of that. But you kind of see Disney is coming back. They're kind of lifting themselves up, and they're becoming more and more of a big thing. I mean, even when you go to the Disneyland and you go to the Star Wars ride, it's better than it was ever before. And I think Disney is maybe coming back, and who knows, maybe they'll be better than they were ever before. Maybe we'll get a whole new stream of classic movies that children in the future will watch and say, wow, that's really great. I hope so. I really do. But it looks like the mouse has not kicked the bucket yet. I remember Rob Walker, in speaking of the Hunger Games catching fire in comparison to the first movie, referenced this thing, which was something else someone had said about the second Star Trek film as compared to the first. He said basically about it, now that's more like it. And I'd have to say that about this too. Thank you, Disney. That's more like it. Now don't you dare screw up Star Wars!